right, so last shot here, and it looks something like this. The jet's going to come in from its barrel roll animation, kind of swoop down towards the ground, and come back up to the sky. So this is actually one shot. So if I were to get rid of this second strip right there, we'll see that, okay, it just kind of swoops down and comes up, right? That's all it's doing. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the previous shot, which is render a second shot, which is just a closer up shot of it kind of swooping down, a closer up angle, and then we'll cut them together. So this is what it's going to look like. We have our sky plate back here, and then we essentially have an animation curve, and the jet's going to essentially follow along this curve. So if I were to play this really quick, see it come in, kind of go down and around and back up. So the first step we got to do is just set up the basic curve and attach it to it. So I'm starting in our template. So jet anim template. I'm going to go ahead and save this out as shot C. So I'll just do jet shot C. I'll do version 1. So first things first, we just need to set up the back plate. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my materials down here. Go ahead and go down to our file texture, and we're going to grab that shot C JPEG. So sky C JPEG. So replace that. We'll go ahead and get that set up. It's going to be somewhere over here. So I'll just go ahead and, again, this is going to take a lot of tweaking to get this one right. So we'll just go ahead and rotate this around and rotate this back down. I'll go ahead and go into local mode so I can rotate this and then just bring this down. So we're going to essentially be looking down at the ground here. Something like that. That's good enough to start. And then next up, what we want to do is get our curve going. So I'm going to go ahead and go into full screen mode. I'm going to Shift A and do curve, and then we'll just do path, right? And then I'll go ahead and zoom in here. I'll go into edit mode so we see this. And essentially what we want to do is just take this edge down here and extrude this out and make that a curve. So I'm going to go ahead and go into top mode up here. And then we'll go ahead and do this. I'm going to want to see everything up here. So I'm going to zoom out so we can kind of see this. And then from here, what we'll do is just simply select E to extrude that out. And then we'll make that curve kind of go around. And I'm going to try to be as broad as possible, using as few points as possible to make this a little bit easier to animate or to move around. We'll do something like this. There you go. So now it looks something like this. Now we actually have to get it to do a dip here. So I'll go ahead and select all three of these. I'll go ahead and move these down, something like that. And then this one's going to be way up. And essentially what I want to make sure we do is that this crossing point right here is going to kind of connect, because it's going to fly past the camera coming in, and it's going to fly out. So something like that. We're going to tweak this heavily in the next chapter, but we'll just kind of get it started right there. And then from here, I'm going to go back into object mode. And then from there, we'll go to our camera. I'm going to do wider focal length, so we'll do something like 20. So this time it's going to be kind of sitting in the sky. And then from here, we'll make sure our copy rotation is going to be off so we can set this up correctly. And I'll go ahead and select my plane and go ahead and view that. And it looks like our focal endpoint might be a little off. So go ahead, view camera, and then I'll go ahead and rotate this around like that. So do something like this. And before I actually get this perfectly set up, what I want to do is attach the jet to the curve. So I'll select my outer rig here, so the very last one, the top parent, and then we'll do constraint, we'll do follow path, and we'll do selection, and then we'll select the curve. So I'm going to get into position here so I can select that curve a little bit better. And there we go. And then from here, what we need to do, if we play around with this offset, it doesn't actually do anything yet. So what we want to do here is set this to fixed position, which is going to force it to go along that curve. One thing we'll see that if we kind of push it out there a little bit is that it's not actually following that curve. So what we want to do is follow curve. It's going along position, but the rotation isn't working. So we'll do follow along curve, and then we'll do -y to make it go in the right direction. And then we'll just go to the first frame, or the frame before actually, and just do offset of 0, and then insert keyframe, and then do 173, and then we'll do offset to 1, right click, insert keyframe. And then from here, what we can do is just hit home, select everything by hitting A, and then right click to interpolation mode linear. And now we should see something going on. And then what we want to do is simply right where it goes against the cross here. So we'll do something like right here. I'm going to kind of just bring this back a little bit. So it's going to kind of fly by. And then we'll want to just get rid of all of these excess. We just want this one point here. So I'll select all these, hit X, get rid of that. Great. And then we'll go ahead and go right where it's going to cross over right there. And then we'll essentially select that jet and just view selected. And that's just going to kind of put us in a position where it's going to fly right past, and then it's going to kind of come back up past it as well. And then we'll continue tweaking this in the next chapter.